didn't cry enough tears. I didn't explain myself enough. I didn't carry people who wouldn't carry me. But today, I'm putting this mess down. I choose peace. I choose me. Boom. Boom. Chances by the score. Then I looked inside myself and said, I can't do this anymore. I learned the hard way. Everybody ain't your friend. Some come smiling at the beginning just to hurt you in the end. But every scar became a lesson. Every loss became a flame. And the woman looking back at me will never be the same. Never again. I said never. You hear me? Behind me, no more drama. Ain't nobody coming here to blind me. No more tears running down my face. No more running in the same old place. I got my soul, I got my faith, and I'm taking back my life today. No more, no more, no more, no more, never again. No more drama. I'm choosing peace over pain. Boom, boom, boom. Let it knock. Don't call my phone with your foolishness. Don't bring your storm to my front door. I've already survived the things I swore I couldn't survive before. You can keep the manipulation, keep the gossip, keep the games, keep the fake apologies that never come with change. I'm not bitter, I'm away, I'm not cold. I've learned my worth, and everything that tried to break me only showed me what I'm worth. That's right, know your worth. Stand up, walk away. Peace ain't weakness. Peace is power. I don't owe you my attention. I don't owe you one more tear. I don't owe you an explanation for protecting myself this year. I got boundaries now. I got standards now. I got wisdom in my heart. And anybody bringing chaos, baby, you don't get a start. I'm putting all that mess behind me. No more drama. Ain't nobody coming here to blind me. No more tears running down my face. No more giving everybody my grace. I got my soul, I got my faith, and I'm taking back my life today. No more pain. No more games. I'm breaking every chain. Lord, I made it through the midnight, made it through the rain, made it through the people tried to make me feel ashamed. You know every battle, you know every scar, you know how many times I had to find myself in the dark. But I'm still here, still standing, still breathing. And if I made it this far, there must be something greater waiting for me. Something greater. So I release what I cannot change. Let it go. I forgive what I cannot fix. Let it go. Let it go. And I refuse to carry what was never mine to carry. Let it go. No more drama. You can't disturb my peace. No more drama. The chains are finally released. No more crying through the night time. No more fear when morning comes. expensive. I paid for mine. No more. Drama. Feeling like got people forgetting folks are human. That part. Every laugh ain't harmless. Every post ain't just jokes. Some people smiling online, crying in real life. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Why? You don't know what they carry when the camera done. Broken souls throw stones, then hide their hands. Cowards in comment sections playing God again. Karma don't miss, karma don't miss. And healing's still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Yeah. YouTube streets messy, everybody got a target. Creators throwing dirt like hate became a market. Mocking people daily, that spirit look haunted. Tell me who raised y'all, this behavior garbage. Laughing at depression, exposing folks' trauma. Then act shocked when tragedy follow behind you. The evil energy, boomerang proper. Come on, pull up silent like a midnight robber. And honestly, do you watch my live? I talk truth, pain, growth, tears, real vibes. Not everybody built for the games online. Some folks want insult from losing their mind. That's fake, no cap. Y'all addicted to humiliation. Every live stream feel like public execution. Views over souls, cloud over humans. Then wonder why the whole world mentally ruined. Somebody mama crying at night. Somebody daughter hurt inside. Somebody praying not to give up while bullets screenshot painful life. Shame on you, shame. You need healing too. Only damaged people wake up daily, trying to damage others too. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Tearing them down. You don't know what they fighting when the live stream done. Let it go. Keyboard killers acting tough online. Whole time spiritually broken inside. Karma don't miss, no. Karma don't skip souls either. Every hateful seed gon' meet the reaper. So to the hurt and bully people, listen close. You matter more than these demons online. These chicks bitter, these dudes weird. Obsessed every day, like why you still here? Refreshing my page while pretending you don't care. Whole personality built off hate and fear. Talk slick online, real life timid. Broken inside, everybody can't feel it. Projecting their wounds while the comments all cheering. That ain't straight, baby, that sickness concealed. And I said what I said. Yeah, some of these creators need therapy bad. Not another live stream drag. Not another fake outrage cash grabs. Yeah. Y'all bully for a living. That's sad. Spirit look bankrupt, dusty and mad. And the people encouraging it just is trash. Laugh now. Karma got a long memory past. Lord, cover the wounded, cover the lonely heart, cover the lonely heart, cover the people crying silently in dark rooms. Teach us compassion again. Teach this world mercy again. Because words cut deep, so deep. And some people never recover. To everybody bullied online, you are not weak because you hurt. You are not crazy because you feel pain. And don't let these empty souls convince you your life got no value. The loudest bullies usually fighting demons they never healed from. That ain't an excuse, but it's the truth. And to the bullies, get help, seriously. This obsession will tear his strangers apart every day. That ain't normal. Enough is enough. We need love more than ever now. More than ever. Too many souls out here barely hanging on somehow. No more glorifying painful views. No more clowning her forever new. No more mob attacks for entertainment. That darkness got healing still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Enough is enough. Spread love before it's too late. Yeah, before it's too late.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden, and we are back with another live, y'all. We got a great conversation that we're gonna get into today. And I think y'all will be very pleased. It may resonate with a lot of people. It may be a little bit triggering. It may be a little bit, deep. But I think it's something really good that we all can talk about together. It is about 12:55 p.m. here, y'all, in the United States, the Carolinas, and Eastern Time, and the sun is shining real bright. It's a beautiful, lovely day outside. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you guys are having an excellent Sunday as well. In whatever respectful time zone you're in, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night for you, I hope it is a beautiful day and everybody is doing well. Thank you so much for everyone who has joined already. And we're going to go ahead and shout you out in just a moment. Y'all know I have my lovely co host Imani here with me. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring her up. We're going to move this thing right along a little bit quickly today, y'all, because there are some plans that I got and some plans that she got. So we're going to do our live, and then we got some things we're going to do for the rest of our Sunday. So Imani, girl, what's up? How you doing? How are you feeling? Happy Sunday. What is going on with you, my love?
Yeah, I'm good. Weather's good here. It's 5 minutes before 6 p.m. here. Um, and sun is shining. It's not too hot, but it's good. The weather's good. It's been a quiet Sunday. It's been a quiet Sunday, but yeah, I'm really good. But yeah, we're gonna go through this one today quite quickly. Have you had a good day so far?
Yeah, girl, our day was pretty good, just the same old, really, same old routine. Me, Mama, JJ, and child. Now we got three little boy dogs. So child, I got four boys, four sons. And so, just been running around, playing with them, having a good time, child. They all got baths last night, the little dog babies. And so they feeling real fresh, and real sexy and all of the things. So they run around here, child. You can't tell them nothing. But no, we've been having an excellent morning so far, and early afternoon. And once we're done the live, we got some plans. I'm gonna take JJ outside to play with one of his little playmates that's his same age that lives next door. And so it's not too hot out. The sun is shining bright, but it's not too hot. So they'll be able to play outside and have a little bit of fun, end off the weekend or whatnot. I know a lot of people, at least in the United States, and at least I guess in my state and other states, kids are going back to school. So a lot of parents have been doing like school shopping and getting supplies and things like that. So the kids is getting ready to ship back out to the school shop. Mine is not yet school age, but next year he will be on that same schedule. But for right now, we do his schooling and stuff at home. But yeah, that's about it. He wants to paint also. He has some paint and stuff that we bought him and some easels and things like that. So child, that take a lot of work. And a lot of cleanup, but at least it's washable paint. So we might become Picasso a little bit later. We might be up here painting, some murals and some pictures and some artwork. Y'all let me know if y'all interested. You can come on down to the Golden Museum of Art with JJ. Nah, girl, I'm being silly. But yeah, good day, good day. But let's go ahead and shout out to everybody who has joined us so far. So, what is up, Daisy? Daisy, thank you so much for coming in and joining us. We really appreciate that. Hey, Lacey girl, thanks for coming in and joining us again. And you feeling better, sweetie? Because I know you said you was a little bit under the weather, but I think you said you have charged back up and you feeling a lot better. So that is great to hear. Thank you so much. I'm glad y'all like the music. We also, I believe, I'm scrolling down, y'all. I'm trying to catch up fast. I believe Split is in here too. What's up, Split? Thank you for sliding through. And yeah, Asher is here again too. Thank you so much, Asher, for coming in. Thank you. You say love the thumbnails, ladies. Hey, Golden and Imani and chat. Thank you so much. Y'all know Mama Warrior is in the background right now. Of course, she's with JJ. And they in there playing this stuff, so it's not so much noise in the background per usual. But she's always in the background. So yeah, yeah, that's it. It's been a good day. Three dogs, a lot of poop to pick up. Girl, you telling me. I'll be taking them outside as often as possible because, child, it is a lot of work. And there's two of them are puppies, and so they're young, so they're still learning. And then my older one, child, he looked like he on his last days. I ain't even gonna lie, but he's lived a good, full, happy life. So But anyway, Imani, we do have a little bit of housekeeping for today. You want to go ahead and get yours out the way first, because I know you have some plans and whatnot. So you probably will not be able to stay the entire live. You may have to dip out a little bit early. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and do yours, and then I'll do mine. It's not too serious today, but kick it off like you do, girl.
Right. Yeah, mine's not too serious today. It's just really more focused on what we're going to talk about today. Um, and I wanted to start with something positive, grounding, and something I think all of us can take something from. So, life teaches us very quickly that people are complicated, families are complicated, relationships are complicated, and healing is rarely in a straight line. Sometimes we love people who have hurt us. Sometimes we forgive people we can no longer be close to. And sometimes we grieve relationships that never became what we hoped they would become. And sometimes the hardest thing to accept is that we may never receive an apology, an explanation, accountability, or closure we thought we needed in order to move forward. But that doesn't mean we can't move forward. One of the biggest lessons we should remember is that don't hand somebody else the keys to your healing. If your peace depends entirely on somebody else finally saying, I'm sorry, what happens if they never say it? If your ability to move forward depends on somebody admitting what they did, what happens if they never take responsibility or accountability? Your healing has to become something you participate in for yourself. And that doesn't mean pretending nothing happened. Forgiveness doesn't mean amnesia. Grace doesn't mean allowing people to mistreat you. And understanding somebody's story does not require you to excuse their behavior. And setting a boundary does not make you bitter. Sometimes maturity is being able to say, I understand why you became who you became, but I also understand what your behavior did to me. Both things can be true. And we also need to remember that people process life differently. We don't all grieve the same, we don't all forgive the same, we don't all have the same relationship with the same person. Two people can know the exact same person and walk away with completely different experiences. So we have to be careful about telling people, that's your mother, that's your father, that's your sister, that's your brother, because the title tells us who somebody was supposed to be. It doesn't always tell us who they actually were in that person's life. And I just want to add one more thing. When somebody grows, heals, and changes or creates a better life, don't weaponize, don't forget where you came from against them. Sometimes the reason why someone behaves differently is precisely because they remember where they came from. They remember the pain, they may remember the struggle, they may remember what didn't work, and they made a conscious decision to say to themselves, I'm not going back there. And that's what growth is. You can remember your past without allowing your past to become your permanent address. So, as we go through this content today, let's approach this content with compassion, accountability, and grace. And let's listen without immediately judging. Let's understand boundaries and forgiveness can exist together. Let's understand that healing and honesty can exist together. And most importantly, let's remember that whatever happened yesterday, you're still allowed to build something beautiful and better tomorrow. And don't allow someone else's actions to steal the rest of your life. That's it for me. I thought I'd give my closing statement at the beginning because I might not be here for the end.
Wonderful, Imani, as always. And yeah, I know, girl, you got some beautiful plans set up for the rest of your evening, and I just love that for you. And so we're gonna get through as much of this as we can before lovely Imani has to go. But yeah, I love your housekeeping for today. And my housekeeping really is just basically going to, mirror what you said. And I'll also go ahead and give y'all at the same time a brief synopsis of what we'll be listening to on the live today. And so, starting from the top to the bottom, y'all, and again, this may be a conversation that could be a little bit triggering, could be a little bit touchy for, people. But I thought the way it was discussed and the way we're going to discuss it is going to be in a healing and positive way. But we know, y'all, when a toxic, maybe abusive, or complicated figure passes away, society instantly demands quiet respect and romanticized memories. But what about the survivors left holding the weight of those unhealed wounds? So, on this episode today of Celebrity Gossip with Purpose, we are going to be tuning into a live video and reenaction to Tabitha Brown and Chance Brown, and they'll be speaking on the topic, which is, does death erase the trauma left behind? Now, we'll be tearing down the myth that death grants an automatic free pass, diving into complex grief, and talking about how to honor your truth even when the world wants you to perform fake grace. So, I hope y'all got your coffee or y'all wine or y'all juice, whatever it is you may have, or your tea, and chill and kick it with us for a little bit as we get into this. So, for my housekeeping, what we will see and hear a bit in this video is honoring your own timeline is something that I think is important. Everyone always rushes to tell you to let it go or move on the moment someone passes away, as if unaliving or death instantly wipes away years of pain. But let's be real. You do not have to force yourself to drop those feelings on anybody else's clock just to make them comfortable. Healing takes the time that it takes. And also, on the other side of that, releasing when your time comes to do so is for you, not them. At the exact same time, holding on to heavy trauma forever only keeps us bounded to the harm. We aren't here to rush people's processes, but to remind y'all that the releasing that weight is something you do for your own peace, not to give them a pass, but you have to protect your heart, honor your journey, and create a safe space in the chat. So y'all can go ahead and speak freely. If any of what we're going to hear here today resonates with you, or you have some thoughts and feelings and opinions about it. Okay. So here are some of the key points that we'll be talking about. This one is titled The Absolute Death Trap. Why does society rush to canonize people the second that they pass? Death is a reality, it's not a apology. Performative mourning versus real grief. Navigating public tributes when you know the private truth about someone's character. boundaries beyond grace. Why you never owe unearned grace or forgiveness just because someone has passed away. Celebrity free passes, when famous figures get excused for toxic harm, and why we're choosing accountability over selective memory today, and healing without an apology. How to find ultimate peace when death deprives you of ever getting a direct "I'm sorry." And so we do have the interview that we're going to go ahead and play here together, as we always do. And we will watch it together and listen to some of the talking points. And per usual, we'll stop in between or whatnot, to make our commentary. And while we're listening together, we always meet y'all in the chat. And so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here today. Before and while I'm getting everything set up, do you have a few things you want to add, Imani?
Yeah, I'm going to be putting some signposts for help for those who are actually going through or maybe suffering from a loss of a close friend, a loved one. There are helplines that you can call for help if you need it. And if anybody feels too triggered, take some time out if you find it too much, because I know some people may be going through this right now and it might be a bit too much for them. But yeah.
Exactly. Thank you
Yeah.
for that, Iman. Yeah, so true. And so it's not our intent to trigger anybody. I just know that these are deep conversations, good conversations that can lead to a little bit more of understanding of one another, lead to maybe a little bit closer in our healing journeys or whatnot that we all may be on. And just hear some perspectives from other people as well. So let's go ahead and dive right in. We will, like Imani said, be dropping some helplines and resources that you can use if this is something that you're going through or trying to navigate through. But let's get into this. This is Fridays with Tab and Chance. Shout out to Tabitha Brown and Chance Brown. If y'all have not checked out their channel, please do so. They do this every Friday where her and her husband sit down and they have really deep, heartfelt conversations. And there's, a bit of comedy that's in there too, because they're funny. But they talk about some really great topics, and the way that they speak about them and their mindset and how they view a lot of these things is really excellent. And I know we all can see it different ways. We'll listen to a little bit of how they feel and approach these situations, and then we'll give some of what we feel and think. So let's hop right into it, y'all, and we will move y'all. We will meet y'all over in the chat. Excuse me. What's up, Vampy? Hey, girl. Thanks for coming in and joining us. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it, y'all. We're gonna meet y'all in the chat. Fridays with Tab and Chance.
I'm not putting my coffee down today.
Oh, you want me to do it?
No. Absolutely.
People
not.
actually enjoyed that I was trying to do it, though. That's what you think. Hello.
They what?
People was actually enjoying me hitting the pillow. Well, you did all that deep breathing.
That's what I've been learning. I've been learning all this stuff.
Where you been learning that at?
That ain't none of your business. What I learned on how to manage my emotions, deal with my stuff.
Like a pocket full of lies.
You go. You see your therapist.
Right.
Is it a psychologist?
See, that's how I know you're lying. See,
hey, Lord, help me out. Is it a psychologist or a therapist? Like, which one is
it? That's how I know you ain't been to neither.
I don't know that you don't know.
You ain't did the work.
You can get one online now.
That's how I know you ain't did the work.
They got them too, buddy.
They so do.
They do. Some scammers too. Where all my scamming psychologists and so psychiatrists.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You for real? You ain't gonna do the beat for real?
Yeah, I'm on.
Got that bass in there.
Mm-hmm. I can't do the other part.
Oh, I do the other part.
No, I got it.
What you gonna do? No, do the one hand because it's organic. It gets the people going. Okay, are you ready? Hello there, and welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. I am Tabitha Brown, and this is my husband.
Chance, what's up? Bring the beat in.
No. If I can't do the beat, you can't say bring the beat in. You see how that worked? You see how that came back and bit you? You see that? If you had just been willing to let me...
Are you going to go on or not? See how I don't say nothing? I was in agreement. It's like, all right, if I can't do it. But
you weren't in agreement.
I was in agreement.
No, you weren't.
I was waiting on you to say it. Say it. You just want to be defiant. That's all you want to do.
What's the technique you said you learned?
I got that off of AI. You got your own techniques.
The only AI that you know about is Allen Iverson.
Got that right.
And he ain't taught you how to breathe.
He taught me how to cross over, though.
Did he teach you how to take a block?
Take a who?
A block.
Don't play no defense. It's all offense.
Upside that head. Okay, we're going to try this again. Welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. I am Tabitha Brown, and this is my husband.
I'm Chance. What's up?
Bring the beat in.
Fridays with Tab and Chance.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
Fridays with Tab and Chance. Okay, that's one of the better ones. Your harmony.
Did you see Los when we first came in? Los was looking like.
Yeah, he heard it.
Yeah.
What he heard was I didn't have to carry most of the weight. You was actually in your pocket, not trying to do too much. You ain't do no or none of that, or try to jump in my lane to do the bass. So that's good. That's what we're gonna. You just keep with that right there. Now let's move on.
You know, that's great, babe. I'm glad you said that because that actually has a lot to do with today's topic. When somebody dies. When somebody dies, huh? If they die, does the trauma go with them? If somebody gets killed, in their sleep, does it erase all the trauma they left behind?
This is not what we said, what we was talking about.
Keep messing with me. Keep on. Keep it up.
The trauma. Get the people.
Okay.
Get the people.
All right. So for real.
Come on now. Give them something now.
Today we are talking about, and this is serious. This is a very serious topic. Because this has happened to family members and friends that we know. This has been a topic of conversation recently.
Yeah.
That when someone, and we're going to use this as an example, if you and your mother or father had a very traumatic relationship, like there was a lot of trauma and bad things, bad blood between you. When they pass away, sometimes family members have an expectation of you to be like, well, you got to forget about all that. That's your mama or that's your daddy.
Or your brother or your
brother
sister.
Or your sister,
aunt.
Right? And you just got to show up and act like everything was great and they were this amazing person and ignore the trauma that was there. Have you ever had to experience that? That's what we're talking about. And does them dying take away all of that trauma that you had? Does it give them a clean slate because they're gone? Let's talk about it.
Absence also. Trauma and absence. There can be trauma, I imagine, from absence.
That's good.
But I think when I think about it, and I've had to think about this myself in regards to a couple of relationships that have a title
Mm-hmm.
That people expect a certain type of relationship. So I've had to think about it. And most of it comes from the absence of the relationship and an expectation. Me, I'm one of those who, and I've said this before, when you pass, I think it is the responsibility of the living to honor your wishes, um, and how you want to be put away,
Mm-hmm.
right? To a certain extent.
Okay.
But you have to be considerate of that before you leave this earth on what you're requesting of people and what they're capable of doing and what you've done to those people. And for the extended people, those people have to be mindful of the fact of how that relationship was or wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And just the title alone does not warrant the dead certain things, and does not warrant the people who are living certain actions or things. And I know that's I'm saying a lot, but I'll put it to you like I'll simplify it like this.
Okay.
Your relationship with the person and how y'all carried on does not pour over. It doesn't pour over to excuse what I experienced from the person.
Correct.
So, or your lack of relationship with your own mom, dad, sister, brother, aunt, and what you wish that you would have done
Mm-hmm.
does not warrant a certain behavior from me on the one that I did have. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think.
So you're basically saying people can't force their relationship
or the lack thereof
on you
on
because
me.
their experience was different.
Yeah, because all of our experiences are going to be different.
Mm-hmm.
I think the forgiveness is warranted because the person that's the ultimate cause, right? It's like, hey, I can forgive you, but your definition of forgiveness and what it looks like is not going to look like mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because your relationship with that person and how you were raised and all those things is going to be different
Mm-hmm.
from how I was raised and my relationship with that person. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take?
I agree. I think that people have to be honest, even in death, right? If you know that child and that parent or sister, brother, or whatever the case is, had a terrible relationship and you're trying to force them to grieve a certain way or to show affection after the person is gone in an unnatural, unrealistic way, it's just wrong to me. You're asking them to ignore their true feelings. And this is the other thing. Some people, it may give them a change of heart, right? It may make them feel like, dang, I hate that this person is gone and I wish that things could have been better. And it could soften their heart, right? Because a lot of times what happens when you got trauma or absence or whatever the case is with that troubled relationship, some people live with regret after that. And that's theirs to carry. And however that grief shows up for them, that's theirs to carry and deal with. So you can't try to force how you would do it on somebody else just because you.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and pause it right there. We're about 11 minutes in to just do a quick commentary or whatnot. And I've been checking, some of the comments or whatnot in the chat. But Imani, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first because you may have to leave a bit early today. So based off of what we heard in this portion so far, girl, tell me like what are some of your thoughts and feelings? Have you had any experiences like this? And just let me know what you think.
Yeah. Oh God, this one's emotional today. I think.
It's very emotional
I
and
think
deep. And I just want to
regardless,
say too, trigger warning.
regardless. regardless of your relationship, I mean, I had a great relationship with my mother, and I've told you before, I felt like my heart stopped when she died. And, I looked after her until the day she died. And I remember still having regrets because I had cut down my hours from work because she was ill. So I had a carer 2 days a week, and I looked after her 3 days a week. And the morning that she died, I wasn't going to go to work because I just felt like something wasn't quite right. And I remember getting to work, and I got into work late because I normally started work really early, and I got into work late. And as soon as I got to work, the woman that was looking after her caught me. So I jumped into a cab. And as I jumped into this cab, I'm so sorry, guys. As I jumped into this cab, the ambulance person told me, "How far are you?" I said, "I'm not that far," because I didn't work that far from where she lived. And then about 10 minutes later, he told me that she'd passed. And I remember having a regret for so long that I had gone to work that day. But later on, I thought I didn't need to have that regret because I spent her last days, her last hours with her just before I went to work. So I think you can have regrets whether you have a traumatic relationship with someone or not. And that's the same as when my nephew died. When he was moving out and he kissed me goodbye and he said to me, "I wish I could stay with you, Auntie." And this is my nephew that was unalived, a few weeks before, after my brother died. And I also remember having a regret that I didn't tell him to stay, but because I never saw him again. So you can have regrets whether you have a good relationship with people or a bad. I'm so sorry, guys. Whether you have a good relationship with people or a bad relationship with people. But I think that you can also be in a family and you can have a different relationship with the same parent, and you can't tell other people how to feel. And I think they're right. You can't tell other people how to feel about that person after they died. You can't tell them to forgive. They have to do that in their own time. But the one thing I will say is if there are things that you can get out of the way, that you can clear before the inevitable happens, because you never, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. So if it's just petty little stuff that you're not talking to someone for petty little reasons, then I believe that we need to remember that life is really short and tomorrow's not promised to anybody. I'm so sorry. God.
I'm sorry, Imani. It's okay. And you don't need to be sorry for your feelings and your emotions. It's okay. And a lot of us mourning, we probably are feeling a lot of the similar things and been through things that are similar as well. And yeah, this conversation was a risky one because I knew it'd be a little bit, probably a lot of it, triggering. But it was a conversation that I thought can be, healing and allow us to really understand each other a bit better as far as like things that we've gone through or going through, and how we respond, to those things. Why we may operate the way we operate, why we may speak the way we speak. And a lot of times when it comes to people being hurt, hurt doesn't always show up in tears. Sometimes hurt shows up in anger, right? And that can be misunderstood when it comes to people as well, because that we have our different emotions and we have them like a deck of cards, and we can decide which card we pull out at the time, and a lot of the time it's to protect our feelings and our emotions, to be strong, or because we've been raised that way, to be strong, to just like just take it on the shoulder and keep it pushing, right? Because you may have to be the strong one for the family. You may have to be the strong one for your children, and when things are really, really tearing your heart apart and breaking you down, it's like sometimes you have to push through that. And then we have society that's here sometimes saying that you should even push through it even faster. And it's like, yo, I'm barely pushing through it as fast as I am right now, just having to be the strong one and not fall apart. And then you have people that are, sometimes say to you, like, well, you need to hurry up and you need to get over that, or, you need to dust it off and get back up and keep it pushing. And, that sometimes is a societal thing, but sometimes it's also is, like what's the word that I'm looking for? God help me, Lord. Now I'm all choked up. It's also sometimes things that we are learned in our family, right? A traditional thing, right? That you might have, like a grandmother or a grandfather that was that way. And so they raised your parents up, then your parents raise you up to be like, you have to hurry up and push through your traumas. You have to hurry up and push through your grief. You have to hurry up and just, be sad for a minute, cry for a little bit, but don't stay crying for too long. And then also a lot of what they're talking about in this conversation as well is the aftermath, right? So it's like Imani was saying, if someone who has done or been terrible to you, right? And then they pass. It's like, you're expected sometimes, like, okay, well, all of the things that you experience and all the things that person pushed you through, push that to the side because they're not here no more. So it doesn't matter anymore. So just keep pushing forward and move on. It's over now. It's over maybe for them because they're no longer here. But you still have to live with the scars. You still have to live with the pain. And a lot of it sometimes is unresolved. You never get that sorry. You never get that, I didn't mean to do that to you. I didn't mean to treat you that way. Or I didn't mean to put you through that. You may never get that closure, right? Because they may leave before that type of closure that you may be looking for is given or received. And now you're left hanging and they, yes, have transitions to wherever it is they transition to, but you're still left with the scars. You're still left with the hurt. And you have to see, like, what do I do with this? Right? Like, what do I do with this? And, you have society and people that will tell you this is the way to do it. And this is how you, just let it go, move past it. That's in the past. It's over now. But you're still hurting. You're still feeling away. And also what Imani was saying on the other side of that is that also sometimes you can feel, brokenhearted because you may feel as though you didn't utilize your time with that person the way that you feel as though you could have been more apologetic, or you could have been more forgiving before that time was over. And sometimes we carry that around on our hearts and our spirits as well, like we waited too late, you know what I mean? Like we could have made up, like two sisters, or I'm sorry, two brothers or whatnot, that maybe, they've been fighting, they've been on the outs or whatnot. And we just never know. Like life, sometimes we never know when it could be our time. It could be our time, it could be their time or whatever. And sometimes, that's a difficult thing. And I don't have the answer because I don't think there's an answer to be given. I think that this conversation is just about us acknowledging the fact that these are things that we navigate through in life. These are things that hold heavy weights on us. These are things that can change how, we show up in the world, how we speak, how we act, how we respond to certain triggers and things of that nature. So it's a very deep conversation. So I didn't mean for it to be very triggering for people in a bad way. I just thought it would be a great conversation for us to listen to maybe, get a little bit more understanding of one another and also have a little bit more understanding for one another because a lot of us are dealing with these same very things and navigating through the world, navigating through this YouTube platform with a lot of these same, things that we carry with us. Imani, child, I'm out of breath.
I'm. Oh, sorry, guys. No, no. You're right. I just think. I really do believe life is too short. That's why I think all this fussing and fighting that's unnecessary, you know, just keep it moving if you don't like people. You know, life is really, really short, and you don't want your last words with someone that you love to be, you know, something you regret. I don't have any regrets about, you know, the last words I've said to anybody who's passed away, because I don't hold things in my heart. I just move on from people if they're not people I want to be around. And most of the people that I want around me are around me, even on here. So yeah, sorry guys. I just get a bit emotional when I talk about my mum as well. But
No,
yeah,
babe.
no,
Never
this
be
is all
sorry.
right. This is okay, Golden. We got to talk about these things. You know,
Yeah,
people are going through all sorts of stuff. I'm sorry if I've triggered anybody. Um, just gets me a bit
we
choked
all
up.
we all are here to wrap our arms around one another because we all have a story. We all have experiences that we've been through. And when we can see that in one another and really have empathy towards one another because we know, that life is hard and we go through a lot of stuff, all of us in different ways, in different places, all over the world, different experiences. And so I think that's one thing, for me, at least personally, I just feel like I never want anybody to apologize for their tears, for their feelings, for their emotions. There's something that we have because we were created to have them. And suppressing them, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But to really feel them, right, and lean into them, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think healing comes on the other side of that when we're able to get it off of our chest and be able to sit with a group or with people that understand. They understand and they care, because they equally have probably had experiences. But let's get back into the video, y'all. There's a part that they're about to talk about that I can resonate with a little bit more on that side of things. But let's go ahead and play a little bit more. We'll meet y'all over in the chat. And y'all, like I said, thank you so much for joining. I hope this is healing and helpful. And I do know it can be triggering, and it's not my intention to trigger on purpose. It's just maybe we can talk about these things and get to know each other better and maybe navigate through some pain and some things that we all got going on and come out on the other side of that. You know what I mean? A little bit more healed, a little bit more in the light, and understanding that we all go through things and we are more alike than different, and we can stand by each other and wrap our arms around one another because we know that this is life. But let's get back into the video, y'all, and I'll meet y'all over in the chat.
You may have loved that person differently. I remember my mama told me, like, everybody grieves differently. Everybody shows it in different ways. And everybody has a different relationship, So I agree with what you're saying. And I also think, like, everybody should have space to navigate that in their own way. But I do think that people also need to be respectful of people's decisions. If they decide not to show up to the funeral, if they decide they don't want no parts of it, if that's how they're going to grieve and that's the way that they want to get their closure or whatever the case is, I think that should always be respected, because some people get angry.
Yeah.
How dare you not come to your mama funeral or your daddy funeral or your brother funeral? If I won't dealing with them when they were here, why do I go to the funeral if
That's a good point.
you know what I'm saying? What is that going to do for me?
If it was awkward when you were living,
Right.
because of absence or, whatever trauma, whatever.
Yeah. I don't think it should be forced on anybody.
Yeah.
And they have to live with their decision, not you or anybody else. That person has to live with their own decision making. And some people think like, oh well, they ain't gonna get no closure, or you should have apologized while they was here. Like all these different things.
Projecting.
Yeah, but it ain't up to you.
Yeah.
It ain't up to nobody but that person on how they live with that grief. Because even when you don't like somebody or you had a trouble with somebody or there's absence, if you know them, there's still something there in your heart for them, right? And it ain't necessarily got to be love, but there's a place there. You're still going to grieve. There's going to be some type of grief once they, we got friends that we don't talk to no more that we consider maybe ex-friends or whatever the case, or family members. If they pass away, it would affect my heart. I'll still have grief to carry for them. I'll still grieve for them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I'm going to show up and, do a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't have done if they were here, right? I'll be respectful of the dead. I'll be respectful of them. And sometimes the respect is not showing up. Sometimes that's the respect.
That's what I was getting at earlier when I'm like, sometimes the most respectful thing that I can do is not to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what this makes me think about? Like, and it's along the same lines. I don't want to get too far off, but when you're talking, all I can hear in my head is, you forgot where you came from. Or don't forget where you came from. And that has been in my adult life one of those things that it just create conflict with me, especially in our culture, right? It's like, don't forget where you came from. And when a person doesn't forget when they come from, but they don't react the way that you're accustomed to them reacting, and they say, no, it's because I remember where I came from that I don't react the way that you're implying, right?
Yeah.
So
some people create a different narrative about where you came from.
Yeah, they create a different narrative, and shame on you if you turn that light out of the dark or into that little gray area where they like to rest and not put the light right directly on where I came from. Let me show you. This is where I come from. Though I don't talk about it, and I allow you to live in that fantasy world that you've created, I still remember with all of me where I come from, right? But because of where I'm at, and because I'm thankful, and I know that I'm not due all the credit, and that was a part of my journey, and God had this set up for me. That's where my grace comes from. That's where I give you grace. Now you can live in that space, and I'm not here to go and say, hey, because I've been blessed to be able to look back on it. Don't get it mistaken, or weaponized. Don't forget where you come from, and have me show you, like, no, this is where I come from.
Let me remind you.
This is who this person was. You can't hold grudges. No, it's not a grudge that I'm not holding a grudge. I forgive that person, but I forgive that person and been able to navigate in this world as a result like this. And in death, I'm not going to change that and now go back to where I come from. Go back to the things that, you know what I mean? That's all. When you was talking, that's what I kept thinking about. Is like a handful of times in my life I've heard that, or that's been thrown at me. Don't forget where you come from. Boy, you done forgot where you come from. Oh, no. I remember Lewis Street. And I remember you. Just because I didn't come back and throw it in your face, or I didn't, you know what I mean? Does not mean that you were somehow justified in your actions. Just because I didn't come back for revenge does not mean that you're justified in your actions or your absence or
that you forgot.
Or that I forgot, right? I just moved on and learned how to navigate in this world with decency. You know what I'm saying? With some form of decency is how I choose to look at it. But I think the two of those things, and that goes with the subject very well.
Yeah.
That people seem to forget that.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things that I know personally that irks you when people say that. And me too, like, don't forget where you came from.
It irks me when it's not even when I hear somebody say it to somebody else,
I know, yeah.
I don't like that. It's kind of like, to me, it's a form of
suppression, like trying to keep.
It's the crabs in the barrel,
Yeah.
and almost. I don't know if gatekeeping. It's almost like gatekeeping in a way too, where it's like, nah, you're not.
Don't get too high. Don't get too successful. Don't do too much.
Yeah.
And it's all. I feel like it's only something that we say in our community, right? Make sure you stay humble. It's like I've been doing this and I've been consistent, but I think it makes people want to make you stay relatable to them for as long as possible.
But it's crazy when you talk about it like in relatability and how I deal with a relationship I had with somebody who now has passed.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It's like, man, that's really insane that you want me to feel how you feel.
Yeah, but it's also insulting.
Yeah.
For you to tell me just because I don't react in death, how you want me to react, that I forgot where I came from.
Yeah.
In fact, to your point, no, I remember exactly where I came from, which is why I'm acting the way I'm acting.
Yeah.
Because I also have grown and I've lived, I've forgiven. And so this is how I'm now going to show up out of respect for myself first and respect for family, friends, but also the dead, right? So I think people have to consider that.
I know. In full transparency, this has been a topic that I've thought about on numerous occasions as it pertains to my dad, who's been absent in my life, right? Now, I've forgiven him. And there's nothing for me to forget, right? So people be like, so there's nothing for me to, in his absence. But absence is still absence, right? So you can't, like where I've talked about this before, where people are like, oh, Chance, do you get how they think like I'm broken, right? You know, where you even thought before.
Don't do me like that.
You thought before
I'm
that.
a daddy's girl, so I just assumed.
Yeah, but for years, you was, like, hey, babe, are you?
I don't want your dad.
Are you okay? And I'm like,
man, I don't know that dude.
You can't. I've scaled it back. Yeah, I've scaled it back some because there are people who, even in absence, they longed for their fathers, for their moms and stuff. But for me, it's like you can't miss something that you never had, right? Do I think in his passing that I will be unaffected? No, because over the years with me raising my son, my kids, it'd be moments where I'd be like, oh, this is why Tab feels like this. And then I'll think of him, and then there'll be a part of me that's like, oh, this is where I wish that I had a dad. But it wasn't until I became a father and then in nurturing them or hitting walls where I'm like, man, I wish I had somebody to throw this at from a male perspective, that it crossed my mind, right? So absolutely, if he passed, I think I'll be affected by it. Will I be affected by it the same way as the person whose father was present in their life and consistent in their life? No. So that person should never judge me or even compare. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Or pressure me on how I'm supposed to show up. Right?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to show up, and in my head, and I promise you, I've had these thoughts. In my head, there's two reasons why I show up. Because my son is watching me. For him, I need to show up. He needs to see me show up, even when I don't feel the need to show up. I think that that's important. Like, son, sometimes you got to show up. You got to show up. And secondly, I think that there's going to be, whether I can't conclude on, there's no closure there for me, but I'd rather go and show up to see if there's something there as opposed to them putting him away, something. Right? And then there being no opportunity for me to do it. I'm the dude that's going to reside on caution. Like, all right, I'm going to go.
See how I feel.
I'm going to go and see how I feel. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Because I don't know how I feel. And life has taught me that. Mm-hmm. But I've had these thoughts and conversations in my head where it's like, okay, but how dare a person, and I pity the fool who approach me and tell me how I'm supposed to feel about somebody who was absent in my life, mm-hmm. and tell me you're supposed to feel how I feel and all supposed to be forgiven and you need to do this and need to do that.
Because that's who this person was.
Because the title,
yeah,
right? The title does not justify the actions on either side. And
it's still solely your decision to make.
And this is where it's saying, listen, the best thing that I can do is if I anticipated, okay, if I anticipated that I would encounter that kind of person, then I would refrain from going. Because I don't have the same regard for if it's in a church. I don't have the same, I didn't grow up in it. I will cuss your ass out. Like for real. Like, and now.
Yo, Chance be cracking me up because I love them because between the two of them, I feel like I'm a little bit of both, right? Like I'm a little bit of Tab, I'm a little bit of Chance. And Chance just be telling it like it is. But, I love it because as they have the hard conversations, they also segue into conversation that makes it a little bit lighter, and they really keep it real, as far as like how they really move, and operate and address things. And, even though they both are kind of different, they are kind of the same too. And that's what I think a lot about us that have gathered here together, and even we've been through some hills and some valleys and some ups and downs with one another. But that's what I value because that's what I've paid attention to and I see is that, yeah, we're a lot different. We're very unique when it comes to that. But at the core, a lot of us are very much alike, And so, speaking on this topic as well, just to, segue back into some of the things that Chance said earlier, when it comes to him, right, and his father being in his life. His father was never in his life, right? Like that. They didn't have, a relationship or whatnot like that. And so one of the things that, I had to deal with that happened in my life is that, life be life and people have whatever ailments they do or age be aging and stuff like that. And my father never being in my life, when I got the word or the news that he passed away and he was no longer here, I had a very different response towards that. You know what I mean? And I think that was one of the things that Chance was speaking about as well. It's like, it's not just what the experiences you have with the person, right? Because they can be very traumatic, they can be very dark, they can be very terrible. But then you also have another side where you have no experiences with the person, no relationship with the person at all. And when that time comes, it's like, because of that, for me, I guess the way I approached it was I didn't approach it with anger. I didn't approach it with hate. I just was like, oh, that's unfortunate, like rest in peace to him, but there's no relationship there. So what am I supposed to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, or how am I supposed to feel? I know that I feel that, it's unfortunate sometimes when people, lose their life and they no longer with us, for whatever reason that may be. Maybe they were suffering due to an ailment or a sickness. Maybe it was a tragedy that happened. Or maybe it was just, that's just your time. You know what I mean? Maybe they could have passed, into sleep or whatever naturally. But if you don't have a relationship with that person or know that person, then it's just like, I don't wish them any harm. It's just like, or I don't want to say, oh, good for them. I would never say anything like that. But, the loss for me is like, How can this be a new loss if the initial loss was you never being in my life? I already suffered the loss of you not being with me. You know what I'm saying? And now it's unfortunate that you're no longer walking this earth or alive, and things of that nature. But I've already done my mourning of loss because you weren't never there. That was the loss. You know what I'm saying? So all of these years, dealing, maybe when you have, could it be a parent or maybe just another family member, if they're not really there for you and they're not in your life, that's the initial loss. You know what I mean? To me, in my personal opinion. And I've already mourned that loss. I've already accepted it. I've already dealt with it. I already navigated through it. So now on the other side of that, it's just like, okay, if the person is no longer here, it's not necessarily I feel a certain type of way because of the connection and relationship that we had. I just feel like, okay, that's unfortunate, that this person is no longer with us. So like in that type of way. But Imani, you have a few things you want to add to this segment real quick?
Yeah, I think this falls under the thing that they said at the beginning, that you can't tell anybody how to grieve, and people shouldn't be forced to grieve if they don't feel that way. I also think that everybody does grieve differently, and choosing not to attend a funeral, sometimes it's more respectful not to be there. You have to go with what you feel. So I don't place no judgment on that. But the other thing that they talked about is this thing when people say don't forget where you came from. You know that that always irks me when people say that, because what it means is, to me, it always comes across as you've grown, I haven't, I'm still stuck where I am, and I don't like your growth, and I want you to feel like me. And it does get, they they always weaponize that phrase against people who have grown and have become maybe successful in their own way. And that doesn't mean that it's money. It just means that you may have changed, you may have moved on, you may have healed. And I find that phrase does irk me when people say it, because I think it's because you don't like the person I am now, because I'm not the person that I used to be. But and people, like I said, I told you this before. My mum's funeral, we were all waiting for the aunties, as we call them, the professional mourners, because they will throw themselves around in the church, and the grieving was really grieving. But like I said, everybody was grieving in different ways. I just think that you have to respect other people's feelings on someone passing. And if you didn't have a relationship with someone, there is nothing wrong with not having grieving that person, because like you said, you've already grieved that person. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like you can't grieve what you don't know sometimes, like he said.
Right, exactly. You know, and then there's other, things or whatnot, like I can say just within my family alone, where it's just like, when people have been traumatized and hurt and they're angry, you can't push and tell that person, how soon to get over it or forgive or move past it. Because that's their experience. You know what I mean? They have to get to that point in their own time. And even before, the them no longer being with us comes, even if they just get extremely sick. And that that's literally what's inevitable, is that that's what's going to happen. They're no longer going to be with us. It's just a matter of time. That's the time where people try to push and say, well, this is your time to make peace with this person. And this is your time to forgive this person. And, they ain't got much longer. So, you should go ahead and make peace with them and, you know, get over the things that they've done to you and that you've been through. But I get how that can be, healing for some, but for some, they're like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to let that go, or I'm not ready to forgive yet. everybody's journey when it comes to that, I believe, is theirs, and we can't put people on a clock as far as when we feel as though they should do that. But I do think, in the grand scheme of things, overall, at some point in time, the healthy thing for us to do is to be able to get to that point, because even years and years later, after that person is gone, if you're still holding on to that, that person is resting somewhere, but you're still living, and you're carrying around, those emotions or whatnot, and that anger with you. And that's something that, if you find a healthy way to release that, will probably take a lot of weight off of your spirit, your soul, your psyche, and all of those things. And you're doing that not for that person, but for you. For you. You forgive. Forgiveness is for yourself most of the time, and not for others. Because walking around holding on to that stuff, it tears you down. It tears you apart. It makes you bitter. Imani?
Yeah, I think it's about giving people permission to grow and to grieve authentically. And, remembering where you come from doesn't mean to say you have to stay trapped there. And forgiving somebody doesn't mean that you have to forget or pretend the hurt never happened. You know, you can forgive, you can grow, but you can still think about things the way you want to. And I think we have, like you said, everybody's different. We have to do these things in our own time, and there's no standard way that people grieve, people grow, or people move on. But when people move on, just let them go. Don't try and drag them back to be trapped with you where you are, or stay stuck. That's the way I look at it. But everybody's different. There's some people's funerals I don't go. I if I get invited, maybe someone I've known for years, I choose not to go because um it's based on the relationship that you have with people. Because you got some people, they're professional funerals and wedding goers. They'll go to anybody's funeral and anybody's wedding, even whether they knew the person or not. Sometimes you go outside the church, you see these people that stand there waiting for a funeral. I find that quite amazing.
Yeah, I did notice that. It's some people that just like that. Like they will just gravitate themselves towards like a passing or a funeral, and they maybe didn't even know the person, right? Or be related to them, or anything, but they show up to everybody's funeral. I don't know. There's some people that I did hear, they say that they do that because, unfortunately, the sad part in this world is there are some people that will leave us and no longer be with us, and they could have been like so extremely terrible that nobody shows up to their funeral, like nobody cares. And there's people who feel bad about that, right? That they like, this may be someone in the community or the neighborhood, like that's probably not gonna have anybody show up to their funeral because they were just that terrible. Like, a lot of people maybe didn't care for them or love them or even know them enough. And there's people that will literally be like, well, I don't want them to, part from this world, and not have at least one person that shows up for their funeral and say a prayer, or actually, try to show that their life did mean something and it did matter. Um, and I remember an episode of that from like the Golden Girls or whatnot. But also, like, my uncle is one of those type of people. Like, even if he didn't get along with the person, if they pass, he's gonna be at their funeral. And I always like used to ask him and stuff, like, I was like, well, did you know this person? Like, was y'all cool? He was like, nah, we ain't get along at all. But he'll still go to the funeral because he just feel like if someone's leaving here, and departing, that, you can still care despite the fact that you ain't get along with them. It's sad for people to leave here and have like not at least one person who cares that they're departing from us. And they're no longer with us. So I don't know. People see that in a lot of different ways. And just by talking with people and stuff in my life, I've seen like people see things a lot differently. You never know. Like, we all see stuff different and do things different. And so that was very interesting when I heard that. And I was like, okay. So there's people out there that's like that as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, but you have a few more things you want to add, Imani. We're gonna take a quick song break, and after the song break, we'll play a little bit more until you have to go, girl, because this is a great conversation.
Right. No. We can take a song break. I've probably got enough. I can probably be there for the next part.
Yeah, because this conversation is not that long, and we're just about halfway through. We're at 24 minutes, and the entire conversation is 45 minutes. We're on, like we're literally halfway through. But let's go ahead and lighten the mood in the room a little bit by playing a quick song, and then we'll be right back, y'all, and we'll play a little bit more of the conversation and chit chat about it as we go. All right, y'all. So rock with me with this quick song, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, we lost another one. Another light gone dark, another star, baby. Yeah, we risked the rewritten erasure. Same caption, different name, the hurt remains the same. We scroll past, maybe pause, feel away for a minute. Then it's back to the race, but some ain't get to finish. We saw the smile, the highlight reel they let us see. Never the weight on their shoulders, the silent plea. Battling demons in a room with the doors all locked. While we was watching the hands go round on the clock. Just a regular person with a story untold. A heart full of warmth that's suddenly gone cold. The quiet ones in the corner, the life of the party. You just never know the war that's waged inside somebody's body. We say we're fine, we say we're good. We wear a mask so deep. We're counting all the promises the world just couldn't keep. And oh, the air gets heavy now. We're singing R.I.P. to the fallen angel. Another beautiful soul gone too soon. Caught between the trials and the pain. No, they were reaching for the sun but got lost in the moon. So let's be kinder with the time we have left. 'Cause you never know the weight on someone's chest. A final quiet breath. Oh, gone too soon. The memories that haunt the ones who were left to grieve. A mother's child, a partner's love, a ride or die best friend. A storybook that slammed shut right before the end. Yeah. We judge the cover, never reading what's inside the pages. Assume the strength, ignoring all the war that rages. A simple word, a loving gesture, you good, that's real. Could be the very anchor that somebody needs to feel. So check on your strong friends, the one that never seem to break. 'Cause sometimes the widest smiles are the easiest to fake. Oh, we say we're fine, we say we're good. We wear a mask so deep. Why counting all the promises the world just couldn't keep? And oh, the air gets heavy now. Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now? Singing R.I.P. to the fallen angel. Another beautiful soul gone too soon. Oh,
All right, y'all. So thanks for rocking with me. That quick little song break right there. We're gonna go ahead and get back into a little bit more of the video. They have a few more things they're gonna be talking about as well. And it's a lot of great things happening in the chat. So I'm just so happy that we can find peace, we can find forgiveness, we can be kind to one another and move forward because we just never know. Life can be short. We don't know what people are going through, what they're dealing with, and the more we get to know one another and hear each other out and really come out on the other side, there's beauty that's waiting over there. And I see so many breakthroughs of that happening. And I just think it's beautiful to see. So that's really excellent. That's really excellent. And again, it's nothing to do about me. This is about y'all. And so I'm glad to see that for y'all here on this live today, y'all. But let's go ahead. We're gonna get back into the video and yeah. Um, Imani will be back in just a moment. Remember, she's got to leave a little bit early, so I don't know if she's leaving at this moment or if she's leaving a little bit after this. But we will watch this together. I know she's still here with us and listening. And yeah, let's listen to a little bit more, y'all, and I can get y'all up out of y'all. I know y'all probably got plans for y'all Sunday evening, so let's get into it. I'm gonna meet y'all over in the chat.
I've disrespected the dead. I've disrespected the church. I've disrespected all of the things, right, that we hang our hat on. When you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta know who you're dealing with and what to me the whole genetic makeup of that person that was dealing with the absence, that was dealing with.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now you done force somebody in here, and you got to be mindful of that. Like, what are you getting? You're now you taking
somebody out the environment.
You taking them out the environment. You better leave that wolf out there and leave them domestic dogs in there, because you bring them in there and now you get what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't know you was gonna say that, though.
I'm just telling you, like, it's the truth, though.
But it is the truth.
But when you pushing people, and we did the video about pushing celebrities and having them talk about certain things.
Yeah.
I think it all goes in the same vein where it's like, look,
you don't know somebody.
You don't know them.
And you're trying to push them to do something you don't know nothing about what's going on inside of them.
And when it's something as simple as you can put a hat on somebody, you like, it's your daddy, it's your mama, it's your son, and you just lose sight when it's convenient of all the things that have been done to us as a people to create separation. Mm-hmm. All of the things culturally that we have bought into that can create separation. There's so many moving pieces to where a title alone, and at a certain point, right, ages 1 through 18, 1 through 25, you can get away with the title, right? And hey, that's your son, dog. That's your. You start getting up in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and you still saying, and I've seen that happen. You feel me? I've seen that happen. Grandma being 80-something years old, nurturing a 50, 60-year-old man like he's a baby, right? And because the title.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm a little different in my thinking in that, where it's, you better be careful on telling me how to regulate my emotions and how to deal.
Don't y'all call, make a chance, try to come somewhere. Y'all, you heard what he said now.
No, I don't. Not you can't. You ain't.
No.
They not going. Ain't nobody in the family gonna try to make me do nothing. But I'm gonna go if I want to go.
If anybody, it's got to be somebody real brave to try to get Chance Brandon to do something. I'm about the only one that could try to talk my husband into something, and I know not to do it. Right?
That's not true. My kids, like my mom, they'll try. Everybody's like. So listen.
No, I'm saying
you just got to know the relationship.
When I know who you are, and I know who you've been with a certain person, I know that ain't nobody gonna talk you. I'm about the only person who can really talk you into doing something that you very wholeheartedly feel different about. I can maybe get you to see things a little bit differently. Not your kids, not your mama. Maybe Quest as he gets older. But, hey, babe, strong like bull.
Look,
Strong like bull.
Los, I believe Los. Los, I can talk to Los. Los, tell, like, your chance. You got to look at it this way. I'm not like.
No, I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but if I got my mind, if you're not gonna change how I feel about nobody,
I know
who I didn't have history with or lack of history with, you might be able to. I think I think somebody can pose a question and say, "Hey." Just with the example I gave, where I came to that conclusion about my own dad.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can hear him saying, "Hey, fool, he gonna be buried one time."
Yeah,
I can hear him saying that to me. Are you sure? And me saying, we tossing it like.
He can make you think.
Make me think.
Yeah.
But what he can't do is tell me what I'm gonna do.
I know.
That's all I'm saying. Anybody, you're not gonna tell me like, hey, or judge me like, fool, you.
We know.
Hey, Chance, that's your daddy, and you need it. That's what I'm. And y'all laughing, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's
we
where.
Know what you're saying.
That's how we started the conversation on how people try to tell you how you supposed to feel.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Not. What is it? Like you can't tell me. Yeah, provoke a thought. Yeah, you can. A good person will be like, hey, did you? And be okay with your response. Because if I'm like. Yeah, I thought about that, love. No. I ain't doing it.
100% correct. That's all babe, that's all I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know, ain't nobody gonna get you to do nothing that you don't want to do.
See, you keep throwing that in there.
No, I'm just saying.
You see how she doing that low?
But
she trying to throw that in there.
That's a good thing.
No.
When you got your mind made up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm in agreement with you, babe.
Yeah. But I just don't like a little something on the end of that. It's a little something on it's loaded. You feel it?
It ain't loaded.
It's loaded.
Hey, I come in peace.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna ask you. I'm not gonna do it.
Ain't nobody gonna get you to do it.
Ain't nobody gonna get you to do it. But the other thing that made me think about is not just with death, right? I thought about Brandy. Remember when Brandy came on and she talked about her mom and her had a bad, relationship. And then her mama got sick and then now she's her mama's caregiver.
Yeah.
And how difficult that has been for her. Mm-hmm. And so if you haven't seen the episode, we can do a little clip right here and y'all can then go check it out.
For example, my father's was absolute fear and wanting to protect his daughter. Mm-hmm. I know that for a fact. With mama, it wasn't intentional. Yeah. It was just, so that's the reason too, because I've had to heal and learn, because I know I couldn't be doing what I'm doing now, caring for her if I still held on to that resentment as well. Yeah. And then when the older you get, you start finding out situations and stories like, wait, that happened to mama? Her own issues. Yeah. So that's why I say it wasn't intentional, but it was hurtful for her to watch her baby go jump on a plane when she wanted to be a flight attendant. Right. But then she had me younger, or she had to stay at home and take care of the other siblings and things like that. But I don't think that she meant it to be that way. Mm-hmm. And my mom just
Which makes all the difference.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I know for me, I had to break that down. And you know who helped me with that? Robbie Reed. She was my mentor when I first brought my mom here, and we would talk about these heavy situations. And she was like, tell her you forgive her. And forgive yourself too. And so when I had that conversation, literally the night I brought my mom home, and I said, I forgive you for any of the things that you've ever said to me that hurt me. And I'm sorry for anything that I could have said to hurt you. And mama doesn't talk well, but in that moment, she said, thank you for saying that to me. Mm-hmm. And I remember calling Robbie, and I'm like, oh my God, you're right. And she was like, maybe then, Brandy, she was just like, but the older she's gotten too, and when you get sick and life be lifing. And sometimes you start really realizing like, I need to change my ways, or what I said then might have been hurtful. Let me apologize. And so even for me, I know I've said some crazy stuff back in the day, because I'm just like, who are you talking to, mama? Like, that's not cool. Yeah. But that's still my mama. Yeah. And you only get one. And that's what I came to grips with.
Walking in that kind of like forgiveness in real time to take care of a parent who was not kind to you is a whole different level of like working through your trauma in real time and having to sit it aside almost. I don't think everybody can do that. And I don't think everybody should. I think it should be up to the person. But sometimes that happens, and sometimes, in sickness, the parent or person that you're having to care for now gets mean, even more mean than they were to you before. And you got to deal with that. I can't even imagine, right? I've been blessed to be able to be my mama's caregiver, and the sweetest soul that you'll ever meet, right? And it was easy to take care of my mama because like her love just was so present even in her last days. Like she felt bad that we had to even take care of her. But there's some people that have an entitlement that think even if they was nasty to you, you still got to take care of me. You know that? It's people that literally can be nasty to you in your family, friends, whomever, but they know that you're the person who takes care of them. And if something happens to them, you going to show up and take care of me. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know everything that you mean.
Yeah.
But every relationship is different.
Mm-hmm.
You can encounter the same people as I can encounter the same people, right? You gotta be mindful of who you are and who that person is what I think in a nutshell of what we're getting. Your encounter with that person, my encounter, is all gonna be defined by how we were brought up, what we're willing and end on what we're willing to take as a result of our own trauma, our own growth.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you understand that your relationship with Los and my relationship with Los is two different relationships with Los, right?
Yeah.
Right. As long as you understand that, I think we can maintain a respectful relationship between the two of us. When you start to say, because I experienced this with Los, so you should treat Los like this, you should show up for Los like that. And I'm like, nah, I experience him from a male perspective. I experience him from it's a whole different thing. So don't tell me how to feel in regards to him. That's the difference. And I think that is super important to point out, even in death.
Mm-hmm.
How you live with that person, you got to be able to identify the difference in the two things. Your relationship in our living is what I have to keep in mind. And it does not change because you pass. It does not change because you get ill. It does not change. My heart can soften for you, and how I use that softened heart or how I respond to my heart softening for you, you don't get to tell me. You don't get to tell me after a person is in a car accident and all of that what I should do because that person was in an accident. Or you don't get to tell me. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now they're being dealt, or they got to play the hand that life has dealt them after making some bad decisions, and that, man, they've had enough. You should, and because you can, you don't get to do that. Yeah. You don't get to tell me that. Now, where I will agree is that I will speak up on behalf of a person that's been beaten enough. You don't need to beat them anymore. That's the difference. Mm-hmm. This is not the time for you. I don't agree. You don't kick a dog when it's down. Right. Like, life has done that. Life has shown you that it has a way of doing that. Mm-hmm. That's different. That is different. If you showing up like some family members that we haven't, and you come into a funeral home to now act out, mm-hmm. Somebody need to put hands on you. Somebody need to. I don't eat like.
Okay.
But
we had to stop light, and it ain't no left turn. You was trying to go left. It's right turn only. You either got to keep straight or make a right turn.
You don't want to
just try to make a left.
No, I'm just telling you.
You see the sign that say no left turn.
You should have. But
so anyway,
showing up to the fifth.
Also, one thing that I want to leave with, because we about to be done, is
talk crazy.
A lot of times when you've had these traumatic experiences with somebody who passes away, and you wanted to hear an apology from that person, or you wanted them to, profess their love to you or say kind things to you, whatever the case is that you were hoping and praying for that you didn't get, right? I heard Lena Waithe say this, her therapist told her this, and it really...
I'm just going to put Lena business out there.
Well, she did it publicly. She said this publicly. And it really blessed me. And I want people to hear this. If your healing is attached to somebody's apology or words that you need to hear, you're not never going to heal. If that's what you are waiting to heal, if you need those words from somebody, living or not, if that's what is attached to your healing, you're never going to be able to heal. So make sure your healing is not attached to a person. Make sure your healing starts within, because they may never say what you want them to say. If somebody passes away, you're not going to get it. That healing got to be inside. So don't attach your healing to somebody's words that you feel like you need in order to move forward with your life. Because the reality is, people do get up out of here. We all going to have to get up out of here one day, right? And so don't allow that to hold you back from living a fruitful life and a peaceful life and getting your joy and your freedom to move forward in your life again. So I just wanted to leave with that. You got anything else, baby? No.
I do.
I don't like how your nose is flared up right there on the side. I don't know.
I just don't want nobody to take from this that you're a victim, and that there needs to be to me, a healthy balance of accountability but grace. I'm not saying that I'm advocating for cutting off your people, or what I've done in my life with my mom, with my dad, with my aunts, with my uncles, is that I've paid attention and learned about where they come from, what they come from, and who they are as a result, to find a way not to be angry with them, but to have a better understanding of who they are and how to apply grace and what they accomplished even under those circumstances. So when I'm saying I remember where I come from, it's not in reflection and being shame or angry and those things. It is simply me saying, I'm trying to be a well-balanced, thoughtful, considerate man and learn what grace is and how to apply it. I'm not trying to make myself a victim. I'm not trying to find ways to give myself an excuse. I've tried to find ways to deal with what I may look at as trauma or neglect. And even in my dad's absence, I'm trying to find a way to understand, hey, look, okay, rather than make myself a victim, and to give myself motivation. And that molded me into who I am, right? And I'm saying, try that same level of understanding on the back end when that person passes, looking at that person who may have who did that and still tried to move, before you say, you forgot where you come from, or you should do this. Look at that person in its totality. on both ends. Because I went back and had to go back before in my mom's childhood, because she had done the things, my aunts, and I'm using people who, my uncles. Could they have been more present in my life in an idea? Yeah. Could they have done this, done that? Yeah. But also, before I go making myself a victim and woe is me, I have just been pushed in a way to just not look at them and be like, you failed me. No, at some point, I failed me. And I don't get to keep blaming people back there. And when I get to the other side and those people start to pass away, I don't get to go in there and now blame them. That's just how I look. So I just wanted to end with that. We make a lot of jokes and, make light of stuff, and then we have serious conversation, but I don't like to leave people with the idea that, yeah, they did this to me, I get to just cut them off, be nasty. No, I don't want to give that impression at all.
No, I don't think you did.
Yeah, we're not promoting you being a victim or trying not to grow or none of that. It's just think, just trying to get you to think and be considerate of all parties involved and be mindful.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Be thinking, though.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you grieve, how you process is your business.
Yep.
Like, that's literally it. Everybody will not handle death the same, and it should be respected. And that's the bottom line.
Bottom line.
Very good. Our hearts and minds are clear.
Yep.
Very good.
But don't y'all come up in that church.
Hey. Nope. Right here. Nope. No left turn, baby. Y'all have the most. Thank y'all. Okay, first of all, thank you. Okay, and y'all going about y'all business and have these conversations. All right, and have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Here, we'll see y'all next time. That's when you say bye. Peace. Yep.
Peace.
Oh my God, y'all. That's my favorite part is their ending. I love it so much. Y'all, give me a few seconds while I am getting JJ together. Imani, go ahead before you have to leave, baby, and tell us what you think about this last portion of the live, what you thought about this conversation, and I will be right back. Imani is going to get into that for us in just a moment, y'all. Give me a sec. I got to get JJ straight. All right. Thank y'all for joining. And I've been reading the chat. I'm loving what's going on. I'm loving what's happening. This is amazing. This is what we need. This is what we've been fighting for. And we're finally seeing it come to fruition. And so, it really warms my heart. And this conversation, that we was listening to as well, it allows us all to see like really, how much the same we are opposed from being different. Child, listen to these dogs. Imani, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go, girl. I gotta get these ones wrangled up, child. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, I thought this was really a really good conversation, especially how he talks about his absent father. My father wasn't absent, but I didn't get close to him until I was much older. And I think I understood more of my parents as I got older and as I had my own child. And I learned to recognize why they were the way they were because of where they had come from, the hardships they had faced, being immigrants. And I learned more understanding about them when I was older. And, a lot of the things that I was irritated about kind of really, I had more understanding of them. But I think something really weird I just thought about. My boyfriend, his father died around the same time as my mother died. And not long after my mother died, we went on holiday. And when we got to the hotel, he took out his toiletry bag, which was like a real sort of old kind of leather toiletry bag. I can't remember what make it is, but he still got it. And I said, "Where'd you get that old toiletry bag?" Um, he said, and then he said, "I could ask you the same because I had an old toiletry bag." And he said his was his dad's. That's what he'd taken when his dad had died. And I said to him, "This is my mum's. Um, this is the toiletry bag that she used to travel with all the time." And both of us had taken our 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 respective parents' traveling toiletry bags. I thought that was just really weird that that's what we decided. So every time we go away, we carry a bit of our. He carries a bit of his dad with him, and I carry my mum with me. But it was really weird that he'd taken his dad's toiletry bag and I'd taken my mum's toiletry bag, which was gross and flowery, but it was hers and she travelled everywhere with it. But yeah, I thought it was really good that he came to an understanding about his father and his relationship with his father or lack thereof, and that he wasn't resentful. He'd come to an understanding and a healing, and I think that's what's key. Um, that's what's key about um, working through whatever it is you're holding in your heart and moving on. But I do think for me, parenting definitely changed me. Even when my nieces were born and I used to look after them, and I gained more of another understanding of what my parents must have gone through, because they had a lot more of us than one. I mean, they had like six of us, and yeah, so imagine doing all that and having to work full time and look after your children. So yeah, I think giving yourself grace to heal, and not being judgmental of your own self if you haven't healed yet and if you haven't forgiven yet. Everybody's different. This is what this is a great conversation, and he's the stuff he's talking about, about when someone hurts you, um and is vulnerable and they suddenly need you, or they pass away. That's hard, if you haven't forgiven them, and you can't beat yourself up if you don't, because you've got to work through it. And not everybody can be a caregiver, I can tell you that. It's one of the hardest jobs, is looking after your loved ones when they're not well.
All right, y'all, I'm back. So I really loved everything that Imani had to say. I was just trying to wrangle up these dog shot and get JJ together. And I hope you guys really appreciated, some of the conversation in that live there, that we listened to, that conversation there with Tabitha Brown and Chance Brown, which is her husband. And they do that every Friday. The both of them get together and they have these really deep conversations. And what I'm seeing in the chat is a lot of, like, just people realizing that, life is short and it's time to make up. It's time for us to move forward. It's time for us to be better, to be different, give one another apologies, show each other grace and forgiveness. And I think a lot of that did come from a bit of, the conversations not just on this interview that we heard today, but on some of the things we were talking about on our open panel live the other day. And I just love it. I really do. It started out very emotional because, yes, it did have a lot to do with, when we're losing a loved one, um, and the different emotions and trials and tribulations we go through during that. But overall, it really just shows us that we all are much more alike than different. We all are going through a lot of the times the same struggles, and we can band together and see that about one another and give each other love and give each other acceptance and understanding and be there for one another. And I'm so happy to see so much of this happening in this new movement, that we trying to be on, y'all. But it takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to tango. So if we all are on the same page and all moving in that direction, we can really have some beauty that comes out in the end. Imani,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your
Yeah.
final word. I know you gotta go,
I've got,
girl.
sorry, I haven't got very much. That's why I did it at the beginning. Listen, guys, just have a wonderful day. Just remember, love. Oh, stop sneezing, dog. Love one another. Look out for people. Look out for your friends. Remember, pick up the phone, call that person you may not have heard from. Just be at peace. And remember, we are way too blessed to be stressed with the foolishness. Okay? Take care, and I'll see you guys soon on the next one. I gotta go.
Thank you, Imani girl, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Have fun. And for everyone who is here and came to kick it with us on this live today, thank each and every one of you. I really hope it was something that, was useful for all of us. It seemed like peace was being made between people in the chat. Child, I'm loving every single minute of it. But yeah, so the overall, topics that they were talking about, in this video, in this live, is, how are we left to feel after someone who has done us wrong or traumatized us has now left the earth and is no longer with us. So this is one of my closing message I want to give to y'all. This is for everyone who has felt forced to fake sadness, perform grief, or offer unearned forgiveness just because someone has passed away. I want y'all to hear this loud and clear. Your pain does not expire when someone else's life does. You are allowed to feel angry, relieved, conflicted, or completely neutral. Someone's death changes a person's address, but it never rewrites the history. We have to honor our truth, stand firm in our peace, and remember that healing never requires you to lie to protect a memory. We all love y'all so much. We appreciate y'all so much. We thank you for popping in and always showing up to kick and rock with us. And we're going to see y'all around the YouTube streets. And everybody who has channels, you support me, you come to see me, and you come to see us. We're going to give that love and that support right back. So you will see us around, y'all. This is not goodbye. This is just see you later. And yeah, that is literally all I got for this one, y'all. I hope you enjoyed the live. And I will talk to you all very soon. Let's go ahead and end it with a few bops to lift the spirits, and get us dancing. And yeah, that's all I got, y'all. So Golden and Imani is out. Bye.
Cradle and Gloria in excelsis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. it's a safe bet. From the impossible to the it is done. The battle's already over. The victory is won. So let the strings soar, let the heavens open wide. I got the creator of the universe on my side. It's here to stay. The morning is here. Something has to break. The morning is here. Something has broken. Yeah. Everybody got a version of me. But this is my truth. Oh, yeah, yeah. Everybody got opinions, never ask me who I am. Read one page, close the book, now they think they understand. They call my kindness weakness, my forgiveness being blind. But I just refuse to let this cold world see my shine. I've been stabbed in the back, still I lead with love. Lost a lot of people, still I look above. Smile through the pressure, I survive the rain. Some my tears in the diamonds, some my losses in the game. Don't mistake my silence for not seeing. Keep every vibe, every switch, every reason. Real power knows when to leave without making a scene. I'm misunderstood, it's alright. God's still writing every line. I'm more than labels, more than pain, more than every rumor attached to my name. If you really wanna know me, walk beside me, not behind me, not around me. Yeah, I'm multifaceted, diamonds got more than one side. Some days I'm the storm, some days I'm the sunrise. I make my own choices, I stand on my own feet. Can't nobody live my purpose or rewrite my dreams. God gave me free will, I'm gonna use mine. If I stumble, I get up every single time. I answer to my conscience in heaven above, not strangers who mistake my beat for giving up. I won't scream to fit your comfort, I won't dim to feed your ego. If freedom looks different, then let me be different. Still I'm standing, still believing, still becoming. Maybe if we listen before we judge, we discover we all carry invisible scars. So before you decide who somebody is, learn what they survived. This song is for every soul who's ever felt misunderstood. Misunderstood. Yeah. You thought you were safe. Yeah. Yeah. You thought you were safe. Oh, good. Yeah. You thought you were safe. Oh, good. Yeah. Everybody looking for a home, looking for a click, looking for a place where the realness sticks. We out here building, trying to be free, but you just here to use and plain to see. I see you, a coach, a vulture, leech, acting like you love to speak just so you can preach. You see the glow, you wanna get near it. You hear the soul, you try to engineer it. Wanna be in the circle, get the benefits, but you ain't put the work skin, you just counterfeit. You a political operator, smiling in their face, just a snake in the grass, trying to take their place. He's searching for a tribe, trying to be free, trying to live our best life, but the snakes stay close, wearing a disguise. Now you got mad, showed your true self, no surprise. You been pop, dumb, dumb bitch, read your rights. You been pop, dumb, dumb bitch, read your rights. Yeah, it's the activist in me. It's gotta speak the truth. I'm allergic to the fake. Been like this since my youth. See him in the comments, singing all the praise. Ghosts is go while they plotting in the haze. Plotting on a downfall, plotting on the spot. Thinking they can use a light to get what they ain't got. But you can't use a mirror, you can't use a queen. Your whole entire persona is a fucked up scene. You a resource sucker, energy drain. They bring the clouds, we just tryna bring the rain. But we see you, we see you. We see you, your little mask is cracked, and now you're corner about to see how you react. Trying to be free, trying to live our best life, but the snakes stay close, wearing a disguise. Now you got mad, showed your true self, no surprise. You been pop, dumb, dumb bitch, read your rights. You been pop, dumb, dumb bitch, read your rights. People don't care about your life or your struggle, they just wanna break you down and make your hustle tumble. Now we see the true colors at the core of these people. Their whole foundation is evil. We at war and we question these people. Golden has love for her people, and I've been trying to warn people. This is the ugly truth of the world. Watching all the snakes uncurl. Here's the revelation, the part you should've known. A person's real character is when they anger shown. You got pressed, you got mad, and all that fake ass love you had turned to poison, jealousy and spite. They hate cause you that bitch and shining too bright. You ain't no friend, you just a hater in disguise. Walk past head high, don't look them in the eye. Here's the diss, you lost, you done. Your fake support is over, your little game is run. You popped yourself, bitch, we ain't have to do a thing. Just sat back and watched you pull your own damn string. You been pop, yeah. You can't infiltrate this. Your mask is on the floor. Go pick up your shit. We out the kid. They don't know her like I do. Nah. Golden. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know. She goes by golden, soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden, city lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace with the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they guarded. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace while the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden in the ditch. She's still soft-hearted but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love but there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire. Still glowing through this room. Still sun. shade the mirror. But at the end of the night, when the lights fade, when the city cried, when the tears dried, we still got